welcome back to the Spearhead Project. I'm Bob. This is my best friend Jay.
Hello.
And my son Jason.
Hey.
Today, we're starting off with the 100 frog theory. Have you guys heard anything about this other than the...
Absolutely not. Boom.
Okay, so the premise of the theory is that if enough people or animals get to a certain point, there's a tipping point, and then it becomes a norm. And the frog theory basically says that in this small island, I think it was mostly made up, to be honest with you, but in this small island, these frogs started washing their food, right? So a couple of frogs were washing their food, and then eventually all the frogs started washing their food. And then an island that these frogs had no communication with, hundreds of miles away, the frogs started washing their food. So the theory is that there's like this group consciousness, this
the collective consciousness.
collective consciousness.
We talked about that on what was it? The Mandela effect.
Yes, and I have some theories on it. And I also want to preface this by there's literally no scientific proof that this is really happening. In fact, doing a little research on it, the study actually says that it was monkeys and they were tested in Japan. And the monkeys, they could teach a monkey to teach something, but it took time. It took effort and time. And it wasn't all of a sudden, although it may have seemed like it was all of a sudden. So where can you think of in our current world where you think something like the hot 100 frog theory is really active?
You're laughing at me.
I hope so.
Dragons.
Dragons.
There's dragons in every culture across the planet.
Yes.
And some of the cultures probably never met each other, but we have depictions in South America and North America, Europe, Asia, Africa of dragons.
So that you're saying that's like an example of the collective consciousness, kind of like we talked about with Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, where all these fairy tales are around the world, and most of them have the same basic premise, right?
Yeah.
So where else do you think in the modern world do you think that the 100 frog theories?
And so I get a better understanding because I'm still a little lost on this. It's basically one group that's never met another group,
Right.
and then they share something in common.
Right.
Okay.
And there's been a few books written about it. Tipping Point is a book that was written in the 70s, I believe, that kind of talks about it, where I think when enough people start to do something, that it either catches on or it doesn't catch on, whether you believe the collective consciousness or not.
Would that be like TikTok or?
I think TikTok is a perfect example.
Okay,
Because
I'm
what
still a little
happens
lost.
with the speed of our internet and communication today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could start over in Japan, and before that, a few minutes later, somebody's watched it or
Right.
heard about it.
It goes viral, right?
Yeah.
It goes viral. And these trends, like, who created the trend? Who started it? Where did it start? And how did everybody get hip to this trend so quickly?
I don't know because I'm going to be honest with you. Most of that stuff I heard about, I've never done. I think it's stupid, like the ice bucket challenge or
We did the ice bucket
Yeah, we
challenge.
did the ice bucket.
Some of this thing.
I did mine in a toga.
You did do yours.
The video's out there somewhere.
Thank God you
Enjoy it.
Did you have shorts on underneath that toga? Anybody like that?
Bikini bottom on.
Speedo. We're not sponsored by Speedo.
Yeah,
but-
we're not sponsored by Speedo, but we'd like to be.
So the reason I brought this up was something that I think is going on in the current events right now was recently in Australia. They passed a law to limit social media for young kids. So I think this kind of ties into it. I'm going to use some other stuff to help tie into it. But Jay, you have some experience with medicine a little bit, right? Like,
Yeah.
you want to tell us what dopamine is
It's a neurotransmitter in the brain.
and what does it do?
Boy, it's been a while. It basically, I think it like it's released when to exhibit like excitement or works on the mind in that capacity. Gives you that satisfaction or that feel good.
Yeah, so like it's triggered when you accomplish something,
Yeah.
right? Like it makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
And so can you see how dopamine would be the wrong thing for kids? So what happens in social media, specifically we'll start with social media, but what happens in social media, why do you guys think that social media is harmful for kids?
I think social media is harmful for everybody. I think,
I do
honestly,
too.
they should shut it all down.
As we're filming and putting this on YouTube. But I agree with you, actually. I think it's
I think it is causing. It's a tool by. I'm gonna go on my rant,
Uh-oh.
my conspiracy theory rant. I think it's a tool by the elite to keep us satisfied with these clicks and likes and comments and all these things to kind of make us feel better, be more docile, so they can just continue to do dumb shit in the world. Do I use it for its intended purposes? Yes. To help build the shop, to help announce things for, people who don't live by me that I like. But I also am not I'm not dancing on TikTok for likes.
so I don't think the attention you get from social media, like if you're a content creator, I don't think it's the most harmful thing. I think the most harmful thing in social media for kids and adults, but specifically for kids, is the lack of truth.
Oh yeah.
Right? So a trend happens on social media, and now kids instantly believe because they don't have the reasoning and their brain
They're
isn't
not developed.
fully developed.
That's what I was going
They
to
don't
say.
have the reasoning to really determine that
It's like that.
hey, this is true or this is not true, or let me find a second source.
Yeah.
They just immediately believe that it's a solution. They don't necessarily believe it's the truth.
Yeah.
They believe it's a solution to whatever question they have. So, because their brains don't really know truth necessarily from
Well,
false.
I've seen on some of the, because I do watch a lot of the YouTube videos and stuff, and some of them are like, younger people than what I am. Sometimes I don't think they understand the consequences. That they only see that first part of like whether it be the likes or they think it's gonna make people like them, but they don't see, because some of those actions that I've watched these kids do, they're breaking legs or they're actually incensed, like they're vandalism, committing crimes and stuff like that, and they don't see that can take a real negative impact on your young life, and affect your future.
So coming back to the 100 frog theories, who told the frogs that washing their food was a good idea? Right? Like, that's what social media is doing to the kids, right? It's telling them that this is a good idea, even though now all the frogs are doing it. Everybody's doing it. What was that old saying that we had when we were kids? If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you?
Oh,
That,
Mom did.
yeah. Um, so yeah, your mom used to jump off bridges. That's another story. Um, so going back to the dopamine, right? So these apps, along with most current like app-based games or even system-based games, have created these addiction loops, these dopamine loops in them, where you're constantly looking for that next dopamine hit.
yeah.
And that's not good for kids' development either. Like constantly looking for the next thing, right?
Yeah.
I think honestly, what Australia did is a step too far for the U.S. Like we can't just outlaw things.
Censor.
We have free speech, but do kids have free speech? That's probably the next. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't think you can. I would say yes, they do, but again, as adults, we all know that we have the right to free speech, but there could be consequences because of that free speech, or at least for I know this crowd that I'm sitting here with, we tend to think about things before we open our mouth and engage in saying something,
Right.
how it's going to affect people. Are we, if I'm going to say something that I feel passionate or strong about, is that going to distance somebody that I may be friends with, or is it better just to keep my mouth shut, So, but I do believe they have, but I think parents have a lot to do with what they're going to say or do until they start getting older, like we know in teenage years when they distance themselves away from their parents, and then the friends come into the picture, or influential teachers or somebody outside your family unit. So
if you believe that they have free speech in the U.S., I'm not saying one way or another,
yeah,
but there are other rights in the Bill of Rights that kids don't have until they get to a certain age, right? Like in some states, they can't use the Second Amendment by themselves until they're 18.
yeah,
So I think there's examples in the Bill of Rights where it says kids don't, or I mean, not in the Bill of Rights, but laws written since the Bill of Rights that really,
restriction.
yeah,
Till a certain age.
yeah, restrict to a certain age. Now we don't have that currently. I don't think on in the U.S., but I'm not saying either way. Like I may agree with you. I think they may have.
Well, I think there might be certain states, unfortunately, I'm going to say, not to be getting political, but they tend to lean, or blue states as they call them now, that you got to be cautious what you say in public because they might consider you being hate speech.
Right.
And there might be, and even though we know it's not hate speech,
Yeah.
it depends on who's in charge. So
what are your thoughts? You got little kids.
I believe that you should teach your kids responsibility, but they're still kids. They lack the inhibitive part of the brain where you're gonna think, oh, maybe I'm not in the right place to do this,
Right.
or maybe I'm not in the right place to say these things because
they lack tact.
my son's a dinosaur, whether we're at home or we're in a restaurant.
Right. But at some point, does the son grow out of being a dinosaur where or do they collectively think that they're a dinosaur forever?
Well, here's one, and you guys
I
both.
think children just love dinosaurs. I don't know what it is. I love dinosaurs as a kid. I still love dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Well, here's one question I got for you, Bob, and I'm not sure if it does with the thing we're talking about today. You all know my son Gerald, and he's an adult now, but he has obviously a disorder, Asperger's, and that boy doesn't have any type of tact. He'll just come out and say what's on his mind, which I appreciate because he's being honest.
Yeah.
But there are things that he needs to be cautious about, and obviously we all know what that is when he called you,
Yeah.
when, you know, doing the
Yeah.
and stuff, and because I got a feeling that obviously you don't probably a little disheartened about that situation I was in, but you understand that hey, he's an adult and he's not out there driving and stuff like that, and unfortunately he's making a bad decision, but hey, you know, Gerald, you need to take it easy a little bit, you know.
Yeah. He's a good kid. He just has a lot of feelings sometimes.
Yeah.
And he and like most people with Asperger's or autism, they don't know how to work through those feelings.
Yeah, they just blurt it out.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it is, and I've been told that I'm autistically honest before, quite a few times. I don't know. I think it's another thing when you start to get older and you just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, whatever, shut up.
So, one of the things I found interesting, like we're still kind of dealing with the collective conscience, right?
Yeah.
Like how these things spread. But in the sense of social media, right?
Yeah.
Like how do these trends spread? And you have, I think we were talking about this a little bit before. You have feedback from people who watch your content
Yeah.
or listen to you or whatever, and both positive and negative feedback affects you, right? Which throws you into one of these loops, either a negative loop or a positive loop. And either way, you're trying to work your way out of it, and it's extra energy that you're putting into it, right? So I think the three of us, like, we've played a lot of games in our lives, a lot of video games and a lot of computer games and board games. And when you pull out a game like chess, it's you and the board versus your opponent, right? And even in games like Monopoly, you know, it's strategic and you're going around the board and you wanna buy that property. You wanna own it, which is a little bit of an addiction loop, right? Like if I get what I want, then I'm gonna get that dopamine, right? But the anticipation of getting it is actually more enthralling, I think, than actually achieving it. What happens though with modern games, right? Like app games are a prime example, is there are so many of these loops that overlap each other. You're constantly in one of these loops. You could probably use a console game like Fortnite or one of them, or any of the app games that have achievements, right? Like we're trying to grow something or grow a player or grow a community or whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, we build a system with social media and gaming that makes us the frog, right? We've become the frog. Like we're watching what everybody else is doing and we're trying to repeat it so that we can get the same effect. And I'm not so sure it's great for the world. If you're using social media to like get in contact with old friends, and you're even as a content creator, if you're reaching people and giving them something of benefit, and not just doing it for clicks and likes. And
Yeah.
I think that's yeah, I think that's great for you. If you're humorous, right? Like tell jokes and have a good time. I think that's great content. That I mean, I find myself scrolling a lot of times on Facebook or Instagram and just watching video after video. And I like music and I like comedians and I like funny things and I like to watch people hurt themselves. I mean, those videos where the guy slips on the ice and falls or whatever. Like I don't know why I find that funny, but I'd laugh my ass off. I laugh until my ribs hurt sometimes.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law does too.
Yeah. But I worry about it's from the standpoint of like what it means for them down the road, especially if you're under 10 and you're spending several hours a day staring at a screen. How does that affect your social skills and your ability to have a conversation and look people in the eyes?
Well, I mean, I think we've seen a lot over, the amount of years we've been on this earth, Bob. I think what's happening now is the breakdown of those social skills whether you go out to eat or even in your own home. Pretty much if they have a phone or a tablet, that's what they're doing. They're not communicating with mom and dad or sitting around a table like, way probably before my time. Because as a family, we did sit around a table every once in a while. My mom had 5 boys, but it wasn't on a regular basis like probably what our grandparents did, where you didn't have those influences like television or radio and stuff. You had to communicate. And I think over time, as technology has advanced through, television, radio, and now computers, I mean, we're getting more distance from each other as human beings and not communicating. So you don't know how individuals doing or, what's going on in their lives like we used to. So.
Yeah, I think this has become the generation of shallow friendships. Like friendships don't mean anything anymore. People are in and out of relationships. They have significant others. People, I mean, there's just like loyalty is dropped out of the sky. And I find loyalty to be the best characteristic in a person, in my opinion. Nobody's loyal. All these trends and phases and these people, these media personalities are just perpetuating this system of, and it started with my generation a little bit with like Jackass and Viva La Bam and stuff, where they would pull pranks on their friends and do this stuff, and that's funny, and they were actually friends. But now people are just like being mean to each other for no reason, and they're videotaping it, being like, "Oh, like, dude, that's your friend. That's your friend." And so like the amount of friends now, like people younger than me, they don't just go out and like organically make friends anymore. They don't go out and are like at a bar and talking to a guy and then go bowling with that guy and hang out with them and meet his family, and you be at his barbecue in a year, and everybody's like, nah, I'm gonna stay at home. And I think that another thing that caused that was the COVID thing, which is coming to light that it was kind of bullshit the whole time. I mean, people died, but it's because our immune systems weren't ready for it. And the people that died because of medical malpractice, and a lot of it
underlining
the underlining disease was that they got a bullet in the brain, but they died because they had COVID in their system. Okay, not to get political, but I do believe COVID is going to cause this generation, COVID and social media, which kids just sat on their computer for
Yeah.
3 years
Well, education, Bob.
and didn't learn a thing because they weren't in the environment. The reason that people fail in the gym in a home, like a home gym where you just have a couple of weights by your TV and you go over there and you grab your weights and you do your little workout, is because there's distractions. So you go to the gym. Where do you go to learn? You go to school. There's no distractions. The reason you're there is to learn.
Now, when you I've never liked going to the gym. I've always been, Bob, you know me well enough. I'll always play sports, basketball, football. Obviously, I love. But like for Jason, if you used to go to the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you find it? Did you prefer to go by yourself and have no, or did you always want a friend to go along with you to work out either as a partner, group, or just having them there? You know, they were doing their gym workout, but you also were doing yours.
I like all of it. I like to work out. I can work out by myself just fine.
Okay.
I like to work out with a partner. I like somebody who's going to push me.
Okay. Yeah. Drive you to.
Yeah, and I like to be the guy who's like, yeah, man, you're killing it. You're killing it
Yeah.
every day, and every week you can tell you're getting stronger and you're losing weight, and good on you. And I like to be that source of dopamine and be like, hey, I don't know if anybody's told you this today, but I'm fucking proud of you. Like,
Yeah.
One thing that Jay said a little bit ago
about a
about
long time.
no, it was
We
great.
appreciate that.
One thing Jay said was about when we were coming up, in the '60s, late '60s, early '70s, and 80s. Our parents, a lot of times, we would have meals in front of the TV, and I think that's probably true in my family too. But that brings me back to the addiction loop, right? Like
Yeah.
we were watching a TV show that we knew there wasn't going to be a rerun for, and we got so addicted to that TV show that we waited until the next Thursday. Well, now in 2025, that loop is instantaneous, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, what's this person putting out next? What's this person? Even with TV shows now, like rarely do you have to wait a week to watch a TV show. Most of the time, when they put it out, it's like
Yeah.
the whole
But,
season
yeah.
at a time, and you can sit down and you can just get all the dopamine at once. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a cliffhanger at the end of there's no week to think about
Yeah.
the cliffhanger. It happened now, and now I'm watching the results of it
Yeah.
10
Oh.
seconds later.
See, and that was like when Yellowstone was on.
Right.
Yellowstone was a big thing for our family, Shandy's family,
Right.
and we loved it. And it seemed like because we were watching it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
It seemed like every week we would just text each other, call each other. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah.
What do you think happened to Casey? Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
every week.
Well, it drove us, right? Like,
Yeah.
it gave us something to look forward to, which I think is something that the youth, the folks who are really into the screens,
Yeah.
I think it's missing in their life, right? Like, what do they have to look forward to? I can find the solution. Back to the dopamine hits, right? I can find the solution. It may not be the truth, but I can find the solution within seconds now.
Yeah.
And Mom and I still do it. Like, Landman's on now. It's another show by the same guy who did Yellowstone, and we're watching that every week. We'll watch the new episode tonight.
Yeah.
And it came out this morning, and it is a show that they only release once a week, which gives you something to look forward to. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I got a show to watch.
Yeah.
But back when we were kids, you didn't have a choice. Like, if you missed a Thursday night
You got
on
to
a
wait.
show,
Yeah.
you might not ever see that. Well, we didn't know because
Yeah.
we didn't have VCRs. We didn't, like, it was before all of that.
Yeah.
When am I possibly ever going to find out what happened?
Well, remember the big thing, Bob? I think it was the 80s, early 80s, man. What was the thing that gripped the whole nation? Who shot JR?
I know.
Remember that? It was like everybody was
Is that
glued.
Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking about that the other day
It's like,
with Miss Kathy.
Oh, they referenced that in what's it called? The Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's like, hold on, somebody just shot JR. I think.
And I never watched the show, so I never cared about that. It was one of the shows that my family was into.
Yeah.
But I remember everyone else talking about it. And it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And it was a cliffhanger for the whole country.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Wasn't it like a summer cliffhanger too?
I
Like
don't remember.
Yeah.
The season ended on that cliffhanger, and they had like a whole summer to
think
sit.
about, yeah,
It
probably something like
probably
that.
was.
Yeah,
Probably, I mean,
because they wanted to start the new broadcast season
Right.
was in the fall.
Yeah, they
so they
wanted
wanted
the
you
ratings,
to, yeah,
right?
want you to
Boom.
come back to their
get
channel.
those ratings.
Yeah.
I did the same thing on Game of Thrones, Jon Snow. But I read the book, so I already knew it. Yeah,
You cheater.
yeah,
Reading.
reading.
It's fundamental.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we need, though, Bob.
It
It's
is.
more kids to read
It is.
instead of just viewing.
We need kids that think on their own and thinkers. All this solution based, this TikToker or that YouTuber has this solution, we should try it. How about if we just try things on our own, right? Like, how about if we figure out we don't need to wash our food? I'm not suggesting we don't wash our food. I'm just saying the frogs might have been wrong, right? That first frog, that second frog, or the 99th frog, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because once the 100th frog got to washing the fruit, then everybody's washing fruit.
Deep as a fly that
Why?
said, you don't want to taste this shit.
Yeah, well, why are they washing the fruit? Well, that's the question on all of it. Why are we looking at the screens?
Yeah.
Well, it's the way our brains wire. It
Yeah,
goes back to the
exactly.
Well,
Wow.
I know, like right away, and it's got to be something in our anatomy. But like shiny shit, right away we're attracted to, and you can see that in like toddlers and babies. Maddie doesn't know what the Xbox symbol is, but if he
likes it.
sees it, he'll go up there and touch it, turn off the Xbox, and then. You know, if he sees you looking at your phone, he wants to see your phone.
Yeah,
He doesn't know what it does, but he just wants to see it because it's glowing at him.
right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that insect brain that going towards the light. You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
something way back.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I would be. I
What
would
was
be
that?
shocked.
Was that the? Yeah, it was the first sugar. What's that Sugar Rush? Or Wreck-It Ralph?
Wreck-It Ralph.
Or was that the second one, where that's how he got the bugs? They broke the thing, and the light came, and they all like they all flew towards
Yeah.
it.
I'm telling you.
Insect brain. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Insect brain. I'm telling you.
So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I watched a video today on YouTube about babies, basically imitating like their dad or their parent when they do things. Like one would dad was crossing his arm, then next thing you know, the baby's doing that, or like the mannerisms of the dad, the baby's picking up on and is doing the same thing. So I think a lot of like the imitation or what they see is that like their brain's curious. Well, I wonder what he's looking at,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, and then once they get a taste of it, are they going back to it because they're curious, or do they want to steal it out of your pocket because they've seen it once? They got that dopamine.
But I was thinking too, Jay, maybe like Maddie saw, whether it be you or Shandy, push that button.
Yeah, maybe.
And they say, hey, mom and daddy can do it. I can do it. God hopes he never does it when you're trying to achieve some type of record, though. Achievement.
Yeah.
Maddie! Then we'll see the Sasquatch and Jay come out.
So I think one of the things that is true with social media, probably with the 100 frog theory, with online gaming too, which is just as bad as all the rest of this. But there's the watchers, right? The people who will never adapt. They just watch what everybody else does, and those people are probably going to be fine in this. Then there's the first frog, right? Oh, I came up with this great new idea to wash the fruit, or whatever it is in a game or on social media. Then there's the early adapters. Well, this frog, the first 10 frogs, right? the first 10 or the early adapters, they're like, oh, look, he's washing his fruit. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some of us in this room that are probably that first 10 frogs. We see something, we're like, ooh, I want to try that. Then there's the bulk of us, right? Or people who are, well, let me wait and see how it works out for these. Like, they're going to wash their fruit and they're all going to die. I don't want to die. So let them wash their fruit for a little while, see how it works out. And if they're still enjoying washing their fruit, maybe I'll wash my fruit too.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
And then there's the late adapters, right?
Johnny
Well,
come ladies.
These 90 frogs have been washing their fruit. So, hey, we're the last 10. We're going to wash our fruit now. And we'll
Yeah.
be the late adapters. And, you know, now they're washing their fruit. And, you know, it's real fruity.
Well, then there's the 1% who will never do it
Yeah, because
But that's the watcher, though. Is
yeah,
that
they're
what
the
you're
watchers. They're
because we all know everybody here washes their fucking hands after they go to the bathroom
Sometimes.
every time. We all know we're going to through a airport men's bathroom, and the dude comes out of the stall and just walks right out of the door.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be a super spreader, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's hope
what-
it's not one of the collective conscience.
Yeah. Somebody's got to be a super spreader, I guess. I feel like if we just washed our hands and had good hygiene practices, a lot of this dumb stuff that happens, like this flu that's going around, dude, come on. All right, come on. 500 years
Yeah.
of washing your hands, you know, since the Black Plague or whatever, swept through Europe, and the Pope's like, oh, maybe we should wash our hands. Yeah, because
Yeah, maybe we should.
half that was the Pope saying, wasn't it the Pope or was it the King?
I don't
It
know.
was either the Pope or the King. I'm getting these mixed up, I feel like. Well, the King banished cats. I know that.
You're going down the path.
Yeah, this is a rabbit hole I don't know anything about.
So
I like rabbit holes.
So-
If you fill us in.
So the reason the rats were so bad in Europe at the time is
Okay.
because the king had all the cats killed because they were part of the devil's like repertoire. All right.
Oh,
So
okay.
there was a mass boom of rats.
Yeah.
All right, and the
Yep.
rats are flea carriers,
Yeah.
which caused to this massive outbreak that we had.
Yep.
All right. Another part of it was the Pope that had them all killed because the King of England wouldn't have that much over the whole Europe. So the King of England didn't wash his ass.
Oh.
He wouldn't wash.
I mean, that's
didn't,
calling out a dude right there.
he wouldn't. He thought bathing was for the poor. So like aristocrats and all these like upper class people would not bathe because
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
becoming.
there was a queen
There was a queen, I think.
that didn't do that stuff because they thought and then she was putting lead on her face. They mixed it
Yeah,
with
she
stuff.
ended up
What was her name? Mary or
Well,
yeah, it's one of the queens of England.
there was a queen who used to bathe in the blood of virgins. You know that?
Yeah, yeah. Was that Mary Queen of Scots?
No, it was Queen.
Yeah,
What the hell was her?
but was she English?
No, she was Romanian. I feel like.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You're down the
Bathory.
path I can't help you with.
Yeah.
Was it Anne Bathurst? Maybe something like that. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. We're like, oh, fucking way off topic. 100 frog theory.
Yeah.
Why is everybody not bathing in virgin blood? It's crazy.
Well, I don't think we ever got to the 100th frog. I think there was one crazy person doing that.
Yeah.
So
That's my question though. Why are there kings?
why are there kings?
That's another thing. Why are there kings? Why are there chiefs?
Yeah.
We're such like an independent species,
no.
and that we group together because we all have these thoughts.
I think we want to look for a
separately,
leader. I think
but-
that's common though throughout.
I think, and I could be wrong about this. I've been to a lot of different countries.
Yeah.
I think in the U.S. we're very independent thinking and we're very individualistic. I don't know that that actually exists everywhere in the world.
I don't think it does because
I think to what Uncle Jay said was pretty true. Like I think most people desire some kind of leadership. Like they don't want to be the leader all the time. They want somebody to kind of tell them the solution. They, maybe not the truth. Obviously, washing your hands and taking a bath and cleaning your booty is a good plan, which that king or pope or somebody did believe.
Yeah.
So I think innately, like if you're born here in our country, I think there's a good chance that you feel more individualistic and more about.
well, I think it's encouraged too.
And it's encouraged, right? Like individual responsibility and all of that, and responsibility. And I think in other countries around the world, it's more a collective. And I don't think that's right. I'm just saying I think we're uniquely placed. And this will probably come off pretty political, but the fact that you're born here in the U.S., you already won the lottery.
Yeah.
Like you could have been born in one of these other countries around the world and been ruled by somebody who's not kind. And I mean, we're already lottery winners.
Yeah.
Just being born in this country. So
Well, and I think of what would be like a good example of, I'm not so sure of collectivism, but it's all they know. North Korea, from the time they were founded by the dad or the great grandfather, that was put there by Russia, and how they, went about it, brainwashing those people. I think it's fear. They don't know because they're only told what to think, say, eat, do by the ruling family there. And that's what's.
Well, I think there's other examples, but that's definitely a good one. Even to a lesser extent, when you think about the countries that do have kings, right, or some royal family, like there's expectations that those citizens have to those royal family members, even if they really don't create much government or not really part of the government. You're expected to treat them like a royal family. And here in the U.S., we don't have royal families, and
Thank God for that.
We did once.
yeah, maybe once.
We did once. 1775.
Or how you're,
We don't like being told what. That's the thing. Like, for me, it's just not something that I can fathom. And I know I'm the conspiracy theory guy, but I can't fathom a human being just being like, you can only eat this bread, and you can only poop at this time, and just being like, okay. Like, that's just crazy. And it's probably because I'm from America. It's probably because I got that rebel blood in me, the founding father blood, where I'm just like, hey, buddy, all right, you're 3,000 miles away. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
So, actually, this conversation kind of leads you back to the idea of the collective conscience, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's over 100 Americans, right? Like, why isn't there more collective conscience in the world when it comes to like just being that person who says, I don't agree with you? Probably fear, right? Fear is the most powerful thing in the world.
Well, yeah, because not to be, we don't want to get political with it, but I've seen what happens to people in political parties if you buck what they're saying, especially from the leftist point of view. You go against what they're normal. Oh, you're an outcast. They don't want nothing to do. And the day before, you were like exalted because you came through with either a big donation or you spoke your mind. But if you change from especially a liberal thinking person to, hey, I'm conservative and I see what like is going on. Oh my God, that's like a death knell to some of these people, man.
Yeah. Well, what else you guys want to talk about today? You have a good New Year?
Yeah.
Except my Buckeyes lost, but you know you can't win them all, man. You just can't win them all. They played pretty terrible, but yeah.
No.
But I tell you what, though, I think just throw my 2 cents worth in there. NCAA. I think Notre Dame would have been a better addition to the playoff than Alabama. Just saying.
That's all I have today for the Spearhead project. We'll like, follow, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you later.
I said bye.